Guys, it is September 2nd, 2013. Gotta use my snag it when the audio's working, but I want to really stress how important it is to watch this hour-and-a-half documentary with Deborah Tavares talking about the smart meters, as well as Agenda 21, ICLEI, the local arm of Agenda 21, and this little bit that I'm going to copy onto my channel is Deborah talking about Gwen Towers. Very important information in this documentary. I really hope that you click on the link below. You can do it now and watch the full hour and a half without interruption, or watch until I'm done, and then, but unfortunately my section is in the middle. So, but please watch this, because a lot of the information that she is providing is essential to what is going on as I speak. And we are at the 11th hour. This is full spectrum dominance. They are hitting us on every level. It's not just the wars in Syria and Libya and Iraq and all over the place. It's the invisible war that has already been declared upon the United States, Canada, Mexico, Europe, and the invisible war. There's silent weapons that are being used already, and they're intensifying those silent weapons. So please watch. Here we go.
This is very important. This is the weaponization of cell phone towers. Now, many of you may not be aware that cell phone towers are not being erected for our cell phone coverage benefit. In fact, when you go to stopthecrime.net and you look at scientist Barry Trower's YouTubes, which we've also had transcribed, and I have a copy of that up here, so if someone cannot download or doesn't have a computer, I do have one copy here. And he talks about what has happened in Europe. The viability of cities and villages and kings and queens and castles has been reduced when the cell phone towers have been put on their buildings or in their villages. There are cancer clusters and people are getting sick. And I will talk more about that in a moment. This is an illustration. We've been working with David Dees, who's a world-known artist. He is featured all over the world, and we asked him to weaponize what cell phone towers really are doing. Now, I hope that all of you will start noticing all the cell phone towers. They're disguised in every single way. In fact, as we drive down our street to our town, we can turn this on, and as we're passing cell phone towers, it pulsates at a frequency that dices and slices our DNA. I will tell you that when you drive down roads where these towers are, freeway traveling and so forth, it's important to understand why you may not be feeling clear-headed, why you may be feeling a little foggy and a little distracted, and you may have even pinging of the ears and some heart palpitations. This is a frequency. What we now know, of course, is that the telecom industry is the most powerful industry on the face of the planet, and it is the heaviest polluter. It even exceeds the military-industrial complex. They are microwaving the planet with these frequencies. And the frequencies are, again, smart meters, the grid, cell phone towers, antennas, and all of our wireless in our homes. We're inviting this in to our homes. So again, all of the slides are up on our website. You can print them off individually. You can download them. This is where we are right now today, and it's very important. Everybody's encouraged to go to antennasearch.com and key in your address and find out how many cell phone towers and antennas are in your area. These are the antennas, and these are the cell phone towers. So you overlay that, and you get to see just how much frequency is targeting you. This is San Francisco. This is only, the first picture here was a 2-mile radius. There are so many here that this is just only a 1-mile radius. They couldn't expand it further than that. And this is when we went down to the Federal Reserve Building to talk to the homeless people that are getting very sick there, and Occupy that is getting very sick there. And that is the level of frequencies that's in those areas. They're intentionally targeting large cities. This is a soft kill. This is what technocracy, total takeover in our homes looks like. You can see the meter. It has a 2-way signal, and it pulses into your house, and it takes out the information, it harvests your personal information, and it sends it out. The success of this grid mesh network is going to be dependent on each and every single one of us having an RFID chipped appliance. RFID chipped appliances will allow the utility companies to turn off or on your appliances. The smart meters are only the initial device. That is not this grid. That's just the initial device. So you will find after 1995 that the appliance manufacturers started manufacturing no appliances that did not have RFID chips. We know that GE moved to China recently on stimulus money largely because the grid is going to have global standardized appliances that are going to be manufactured largely in China. So that is why GE moved to China. It will control everything in your home. If you are using too much electricity, they can turn it off. And you will be encouraged because of the tiered pricing to not use certain aspects in your home as you normally have and have been able to now. So if you still have a smart meter, you are going to save a lot of money by having that removed because they will not be able to know what and when you are using your home, and they won't be able to turn off your appliances. So for the $10 a month that you will be paying as an extortion fee, it's going to be well worth it because once they increase all of the rates, which they will, $10 will be a very small price to pay. This is electrosmog. This is what a house looks like with all of the wireless pulsing radiation. This is the Iron Mountain report. This is the beginning of it. I urge everyone to watch it. I'm going to play a second part. It goes rather quickly, so I'll read it. So don't try to read it. It's pretty fast. In 1961, the Kennedy administration ordered a top-down secret study to determine the problems facing the United States if the world moved from a time of war to a golden age of peace. By 63, the specialists had been selected, and 15 experts from various academic disciplines were chosen for different fields. Their first and last meetings were held in an underground nuclear survival retreat called Iron Mountain. The study was concluded in 1966. Lyndon Johnson gave the order that the report was never to be released because of the content. And a whistleblower released it under the name of John Buck Doe, and it was published in 1967. The establishment promptly said it was a hoax. It is no hoax. It's now hard to obtain, but can be found. We have it on our website. The report looks deep into the soul of the New World Order. Iron Mountain is a covert agenda to bring the world and America under control of the United Nations. The conclusions reached are now being implemented upon the American people without their knowledge or consent, as this documentary will prove beyond all doubt what you are about to see and hear is real. It is very disturbing, but it is real. It is dangerous beyond belief, but it is real. It is frightening, and yet it is real. No person in America is safe, because in spite of all of the denials of the authorities, it is real, and these plans are coming to pass. The report will show how the rich men of the earth are operating and why. You will now understand why America is changing into a fascist police state. You will understand why the federal law enforcement is soon being merged with the police. There is no regard for ethics, morality, or human life. And I urge everyone, we have these, we've made them available, so if you do not want to watch it on your computer, you can purchase these here just for a donation. We just really want everybody to watch this, copy this, get this to your neighbors. This is a government document. This is one of the reasons that JFK was assassinated. He was trying to expose what these secret societies were doing and what this agenda was. And we were warned years ago. And back in 1967, when the whistleblower released this report, it was too outrageous. People could easily not believe it. But we're at a point right now where we can see it. We know where that date in the 60s and now. We can see it, and it shows us how global warming was invented, and it talks about all of what we see as being so horrible. The next source document that we have on our website is the NWO Plans Exposed 1969. And how many of you have ever read this document? Have any of you seen this document? Okay, it is on the website. I have some copies of it here in some source documents, so for those, again, who don't have computers or can't download, I have all the source documents printed out here, and they cost me $20 to print, so if you want to just buy them from me at the end, if you don't have access to a computer. Anyone that does, I ask to leave it for people that can't get to a computer. But the New World Order Exposed was, Dr. Day was an insider, and he spoke to a group of doctors back in 1969 to tell them what to expect, because there would be tremendous changes that they wouldn't understand. And he wanted to take the worry and concern out of what they would be seeing. They would find that there would be diseases and illnesses that they wouldn't be able to treat, and they would feel upset. And I'm going to go through, I've highlighted some of the New World Order documents. This is only a few. I urge everyone to read this document. But they talk, again, the New World Order, there is a power, a force of men and women organizing and redirecting all of society globally. This group wields political and financial influence through force and power to determine major events involving countries around the world. In this document, they say that we are all too trusting, that we don't ask the right questions. They say that because we're too trusting, they equate us as being dumb and stupid. They also tell us that everything will be on computers. Well, they are. They talk about that all of our expenditures will be electronically surveilled and tracked. Well, they are now. They talk about that food will be tracked as well. And as we know in UN Agenda 21, they're going to have managed food corps around the smart cities where they move us off rural lands and put us into smart towns. And I will talk about this a little further. But food will be managed. Everyone will be given an amount of calories that you can consume. And if you consume over that, you're just going to have to wait until your calorie count comes up again.